What's up everyone, I'm your host PC Panda and welcome to an unboxing. Now I've been wanting a very nice camera for a very long time and I finally have one. Today I present to you the ZV-E10 Mark II. So I was tossed up between whether I wanted the Mark I or the Mark II, but the three main reasons I got the Mark II over the Mark I is one, the actual interface. Trent from the Cloud Infinite channel has a couple Sony cameras and he let me play with them, and just the interface alone was a big determination on whether I got the Mark I or the Mark II. Because on the Mark II here we have the newer interface, which is much easier to traverse. The Mark I, it's functional, sure, but there's a lot of tediousness to it. And just getting around on that is going to be a lot easier on the camera here, the Mark II. The next reason is the Mark II here can do 4K 60 FPS, whereas the Mark I can only do 4K 30. Do I ever plan to really use 4K 60? Maybe. Right now I'm using 4K 60 over on my phone there, but it takes up a lot of space, sure. That's not a big issue with a camera, that's a big issue with a phone because you are so limited, where on the camera you can change out yada yada yada. But in the times where I'm gonna want it, I'm gonna want it. Okay, most of the time 4K 24, 4K 30, maybe. But when I'm filming for gaming, I want to have it at 60. Will I film in 4K while I'm playing games? Because, you know, sometimes that can be up to like 5 hours at a time. Probably not. I'll do 1080 60, sure. But it's just a cool feature to have on hand in the circumstance that I actually need it. Now, the number one reason I got the Mark II over the Mark I is the Mark II here has 10-bit color versus 8-bit. For me personally, that's enough alone, right? For videos, that's a really cool feature, sure, but for photography, that is amazing. Another reason I decided to go with the Mark II that I completely forgot about it has a bigger battery, it has about an extra hour of footage that you can get, which is just fantastic, especially when I'm out in the garage. Not that I have any videos of that really uploaded yet, but I have a lot of things filmed out there that are just not done yet. Now, I'm not the most knowledgeable on cameras, but I do have a general reasoning as to cameras bullshit, you know, yada yada. But now that I own one, I'm going to have to do a lot of research. So if you have any information for me, drop it in the comments. Please, I am begging you. Now, my biggest question for you is what kind of lenses do you recommend I get for this camera? Because all I have is the stock lens, which is going to be fine for now, but I'd like to explore some, especially for photography. I mean, videography too, absolutely videography, but for photography especially, I want you to tell me what you recommend for an amazing lens that's not as much as the camera. But I've been waiting days for this to arrive, and I am really excited to open it up. Right, so first off, we have the strap here, which came free, which, you know, awesome. I'm actually going to use it a lot. It's just attaches to your wrist, but we're not here to open this, right? I'll open it for you, sure, but first, we gotta open the bad boy. The time has officially come upon us where I get to open up the ZV-E10 Mark II. Now, what's in the packaging here? Obviously, some manuals. Who needs those? Alright, come on now. What do you think this is? And also in here, we have a strap, our battery, of course, and the one thing I was actually delighted to actually see in here I wasn't expecting was a windscreen muffler. Now, I did show these off when I was taking them out of the packaging, but they weren't actually in frame because I couldn't see what I was recording. The biggest downside to recording with a phone. But here we come to the beauty herself. Let's get that box out of here. Now, this bag's not actually as soft as I thought it was going to be, but, you know, that's not really a problem. Slide it off. Oh, yeah. There she is. Oh, wow, she's light. Oh, that's awesome. Real light. She feels nice, though, too. Wait. Oh, that's a beautiful grip. Now, one thing I'm very excited about is being able to have a panel I can flip open. The biggest problem I've had with filming with my phone is not being able to see what I'm filming while I'm filming it. Even right now, I am just hoping this is in frame. Another nice thing about this camera is right here you can switch between photo, video, and S&Q. I don't know what that means. I'm sure somebody does, and I'm sure I'll figure it out at some point. But now this is a touchscreen here as well, and the on switch, obviously the battery's not in it right now, but that's nice. Now another feature on the Mark II that's different on the Mark I is on the side here is actually where the SD card slot is, whereas on the Mark I it's down in the battery bay, and that can just be a little inconvenient, especially if you full up and you got to take down everything. But if I have this out on my tripod, I can just pop open the side and be done with it. Now let's line up our dots. Got the white dot on the cap here. We got the white dot, line them up, twist, back on. Gorgeous. So this entire grid up here is actually the microphone. So our little cover just kind of slides on that way. Oop, there we go. And then we're protected from the wind and whatever else. Oh, that's nice. I'm really excited to see how well this microphone is. Because if I can film and not have to worry about external mics, that I would just be in heaven. So let's pop the battery in and get this baby rocking. Do we have a charge? It does not seem like it comes with a charge. Understandable, understandable. Well, I suppose we'll have to play with it a little later. So I'll see you then. But while we're waiting on that to charge, let's look into this cuff wrist strap. Now, I don't entirely know what to expect with this. I didn't look into the product at all. I just saw it was free. So I grabbed it. So let's peel off those corners. Oh, that's gorgeous, huh? Oh yeah, here we go. Ooh-wee. Stunning. Get out of here. Oh, that's much nicer than I was expecting. Oh, look at that. Oh. Slide that bad boy off. Yeah. Okay, don't slide it off. Peel it off. Right? We don't want to be damaging our product. Ooh, that's metal. So this does have a nice little quick change apparatus where you just pop that in and you leave that on your camera and you can just pop that back on. Right, but I believe this knocking on the side of the camera might be a noise interference, but I guess I'll learn along the way, won't I? Very cool. Now we do have a little more in this box here. What is it? Oh, is this a microfiber cloth? What's that, little instructions? Alright, who needs instructions, right? Alright, what's in the bag? Oh, it's a bag, it's not a microfiber cloth. Oh, what's this? So we have a slip ring here so that way it doesn't slip off. Very cool. And then there's something else in here. Oh, we have a replacement dongle, or if we have a secondary camera. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's real cool. We are now officially recording on the ZV-E10 Mark II. Right now the camera's just set to intelligence auto, so hopefully it looks fantastic, right? I know a lot of the times auto is not great, but I trust this camera with its intelligence auto. So if I'm let down, I can't say I'm surprised. Cameras aren't known for having the best auto, but we're gonna find out, aren't we? And as you've obviously noticed, I'm not in the same fit I was just wearing. It's actually been about 2 weeks since I filmed the intro to this, and that's just because life gets busy sometimes, and I'm also just teeniest about lazy. Just lazy. So in the couple weeks that I've owned this camera, I've used it a little bit. I've taken quite a few pictures with it, right? I'll put a couple on the screen now. Not a whole lot. Just enough to prove my point. And the video feature I haven't really used. I used it in one recording session for Minecraft, and I haven't gone through that footage yet. And ultimately, that's not what I got this camera for. I got this camera for videos like this, where I'm in person live in full screen the whole video, right? That's where this camera is really gonna come in handy for me. In videos I made like this, where I was converting this old rotary phone into a hi-fi microphone. Now you might be asking, why haven't you seen this video? You're probably not asking that because I don't have that many subs, but that's because this video is not done yet. I need to connect this to this yet, right? I want to connect it to here, yada yada, but I was kind of procrastinating on making this video because I wasn't very happy with the footage. But at some point I'll still get that video out, hopefully, maybe, but once this is done. But now that I have this camera, I am much more likely to finish filming this. In fact, I'm debating on doing that right when I'm done with this. But how do I feel about this camera now that I've been playing with it? I've been loving it, especially just the weirdest features on it. In the beginning of this video, I shared the things I really liked about this camera. The fact that it's 10-bit, 4K 60, can do up to 120, 1080. But there are some downsides I've found to it. A couple of them starting with taking it directly out of the box. So one thing right away is I didn't have an SD card that was strong enough to support this camera. So I ordered one, and I still ordered one that wasn't up to par. As you can see right now, I'm recording in 4K 60, but the SD card I bought cannot do the 1080 120. But that's not the camera's fault. That's my fault for not doing more research on SD cards before buying a new one. And one thing that genuinely surprised me about this is the camera did not come with a charging cable. Now for me personally, I see that as an upside. I have enough C cables around my house, but I work in an electronic retail establishment, and it shocks me how many people don't have Type-C cables or even know what a Type-C cable is. Which again, isn't a major problem, and it's probably listed on the thread, but I didn't hear anybody else talk about that. I watched a lot of videos about this camera, and I was completely left in the dark about that. Along with the new SD card, I also bought some more batteries for it. Now when I went onto Amazon and typed it up, a whole lot of the batteries for the Mark I showed up, and not one until I was really specific about what kind of battery I was looking for. Again, that's not a fault of the camera, but make sure you are checking before you buy. So be sure you don't accidentally purchase the FW50 batteries. The FZ100s are the ones you need for this camera. For a charging dock and 2 additional batteries, I'm pretty sure it was like $35 for some knockoffs. So that's not a big price for just some extra battery life. Now, I haven't had the battery life on this being an issue. I haven't had overheating be an issue. Thus far, I've been having great experience with this camera. But I know when I'm out in the garage building stuff, that especially battery life might be an issue because I'm going to be focused on one thing, expecting myself to do another, and just forget about the battery. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. It'll help me out greatly and let me know that I should keep making these videos. If you want to see more interactive videos like this, or you want me to finish the phone conversion video, or just random things like that, please let me know. Just let me know what you want to see and put any tips for me about this camera and what I should do while filming, whether it be camera settings, yada yada yada, in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. So you have yourself a wonderful day. Goodbye.